What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin renegades. And this is the time where my name really hits home, right? We're Bitcoin renegades. And that doesn't mean that we don't follow the law. That doesn't mean that we're out there destroying stuff. It means that we are separate and we want to separate ourselves from the traditional financial system and the centralized authorities. Well, why is this? Well, banks collapse, people lose their money, the government bails them out. Well, look what happens with crypto, right? We have a way to combat that. And what is happening right now is banks are collapsing again, like we haven't seen since the inception of Bitcoin. Now, this is why today's episode is a very, very important episode, not only for internet computer, but for the whole entire crypto ecosystem, because what we're having happening is the whole reason why we got Bitcoin in the first place. If you go back and look at the inception of Bitcoin and why it even came to be, is because of the 2008 recession and housing crisis, right? We had tons of banks default then, and we just had this worry about, well, what happens if the United States dollar does collapse, or it might not collapse, but it could definitely send us into some kind of new century depression. We don't want to see that. So what could stop a new depression from coming? And that's what we're going to be talking about. Let me get over to some comments real quick before I start talking more about this. I have actually a bunch of information that I gathered that we're going to be talking about this. We're also going to be talking about Open Chat, something that's amazing going on with them. And just we're going to be talking about USDC. We're going to be talking about internet computer and what is happening with all that. So I love this name, Googly Play. Hey, Bitcoin Renegade, looking forward to the live stream. Well, I look forward to being able to give you guys the information and why we want decentralization to be key in the world and why it's so important for us to understand what Bitcoin is, what Web3 is, and why we need these things in our lives. And not just because, oh, it's some, kind of fun thing that we do on the internet. Well, no, it is a real store of value. Bitcoin is a store of value. Other cryptocurrencies, layer ones, can be used for a store of value as well, but not the same way Bitcoin does. They actually add value into the new internet, which is Web3. So there's lots of different things that people are going to be doing. Let's get into these comments. What's up, motivational stuff? Good to have you here, my guy. He definitely is on top of the news. He was telling me about that in the chat. I actually already knew about it, but shout out to you for being up to date on your news as well, because that's important if we're going to be in crypto, right? And so Bitcoin is pumping, but there's a reason for that. And I have decided I am going to talk about price when it comes to other cryptos. There's a certain crypto that I cannot talk about price, and I won't do it for that. But my channel and a lot of my subscribers want to know what's going on with the price. I mean, if they tell me I absolutely can't talk about any price, then I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I know I can't do it about a certain crypto, and I'm fine with that. But when it comes to ICP and the other ones, I think we kind of need to talk about the price when it comes to them. So Ham PNG, what's up, dude? Motivational sub is the homie, and I love that name, Ham PNG. It reminds me of Porky the Pig in a picture. Okay, ICP is resilient despite the tough times. Well, the crazy thing is, when we go down, even though we're in a bear market, we don't stay in those low levels for a long time. ICP's pump is just starting. Well, guys, this is the thing. Don't worry about these short-term little ups and downs. They're going to do that. The only reason that these little pumps matter and little dumps matter is so that you can get more ICP and then maybe take a little bit of profit when it goes up just to get more when it goes down. Now, in the next several months, you're not going to be wanting to wait for these dumps, right? You're going to want to just dollar cost average. When the price is looking good at a low level, you get in. But let's get into our juicy news today. So I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to go over some articles. I'm going to shout out the people that wrote the articles. I'm not into anything that doesn't, give credit where credit's due. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to come back to the chat every now and again to get your input and to just kind of talk with you about what we are seeing and why it's important. So first off, let's go in to see what Dominic Williams is saying about this. He's saying tip, why many U.S. banks could be insolvent. One, they have portfolios of loans issued between 2020 and 2021 at super low interest rates. And then two, true market value is much lower than the book value being reported in their accounts. Now, anyone can buy government T-bills providing better interest rate and no default risk. Now, Dominic Williams, let's go into his account because he's actually talking so much about what's going on in this banking here. And he's somebody that I look up to, and I really want to know what he's saying about this stuff. So, very good news. Fed will fully backstop Silicon Valley Bank depositors. After receiving a recommendation from the boards of the FDIC and the Federal Reserve, the consulting with the president, Secretary Yellen, depositors will have access to all their money starting Monday. So people are still going to be worried about this, but this definitely helps the people that are already involved to know that their money is safe and they're at least going to be getting it because of the FDIC. So I don't want to read that one. Let's see. I think that's about all he had to say about that. So yeah, maybe let's read this one too. I don't know if this is actually Dominic Williams kiteboarding right there, but that'd be cool. He's saying a giant TradeFi regulated finance meltdown kicks off tomorrow unless U.S. government backstops Silicon Valley Bank customers. This is why we got Bitcoin. This is going to be what we're talking about today, so I'm glad I did read this. This is why we got Bitcoin. Meditating by trying a new sport. This is my first time being pulled by a kite. So it does sound like that is him being pulled by a kite. So that's cool that Dominic Williams is not only a genius, but he's an athlete too. So let's talk about that for a second and what he's talking about. So this is going to be the catalyst that brings us into this video, right? So the reason that Bitcoin was made was because of the recession and everything, the banks, people are looking for a store of value. When it comes to Bitcoin, anybody who has held Bitcoin for 4 years or more has never lost money. When you go from bear market to bull market, and every 4 years it does that. So if you held at the top in 2017 at 20,000, you bought at 20,000 and you just waited 4 years, Bitcoin went up to 70,000. So even if you bought at the very top in 2017, your money would still more than triple in value by the time from 2017 to 2021, 2022. That means it's a store of value for at least 4 years or more. If you are looking to store your money and not only keep your monetary value at that level, but also possibly double, triple, or quadruple your amount of money, then you're going to want to get into Bitcoin. Well, when it comes into stable coins, a lot of people move out from their altcoins during the bull market, going into the bear market, getting out of their altcoins to put into stable coins because stable coins are supposed to hold value. Well, that's why Bitcoin is an even better store of value than even stable coins, because stable coins can depeg, they can lose that monetary value, and they're only a few years old. If you look at Bitcoin, it is 14 years old, right? About 14, 15 years old. The inception was in 2008. The deliver was in 2009. So if you think about it, for the last 14 years, Bitcoin has been able to constantly uptrend. It does have some reversals, but every 4 years, it is in a higher position than it was in the previous 4 years, which makes it a very attractive store of value for the retail investor, for the billionaire, because if you think about it, who benefits most from storing assets in a store of value like that? Well, billionaires. So what that's going to do is it's going to make Bitcoin look more attractive to the people with a lot of money. And instead of putting it in a bank, which banks are going to be, insolvent, they could lose their money. Well, Bitcoin is not going to lose your money in that way because, well, one, it can't go insolvent. Two, it's not controlled by a bank or somebody who lends out your money to lose it. It is going to be in your private wallet where you can hold it over all these ups and downs. And then every 4 years, if you want to, you can take profit and then get back in when it goes into the bear market. Bear markets are awesome. I would not want to see a cryptocurrency market without a bear and bull market, because then we'd never have really an idea of when to put money in. That's the cool part about being in a bear market. We know if we put money in right now and we wait till the bull market, we're going to gain money. Now on to the next part of our video, which is stable coins. And this is crazy to me to see the biggest crypto when it comes to a stable coin kind of collapse. Well, there's good news. Don't think that we have counted out USDC yet, because look at this article. I'm going to share this with you, and I think it's very important. So stable coins. No more stable coins after USDC depeg. Is Tether USDT in trouble? Well, we'll look at that. But the one that I want to talk about, I believe, is right here. So this is the one that's going to tell us only, I think it was what? Let's see if this is the right one. Yes, right here. So we'll get to that in a second, but it's going to tell us exactly how much money that Circle had in that particular bank. So let's start up here. First, let's give credit to the person who wrote this article. Great article. Ziyun Sun. Thank you for this article from Cointelegraph. This was written very awesome. But what they're saying is crypto whales suffer huge losses due to the USDC depeg SVB collapse. Now, the depegging of the USDC stablecoin has affected other stablecoins, and that's what we're going to go into with the USDT, wreaking havoc on crypto projects and stakeholders in massive chain reaction. Now, that's what happened with USDT, but or UST, but in a bigger way. And this kind of has to do more with the bank than, you know, a algorithmic stable coin being wasted. And USDC is actually basically back to $1 now. So in response to the extraordinary depegging event of the USD coin, USDC, stablecoin caused by the collapse of its counterparty Silicon Valley Bank, crypto whales have reported severe losses and appear to have embarked on a series of capital flights to protect assets. Duan, the co-founder of cryptocurrency exchange Hubai Global, posted, dodged Luna, dodged 3AC, even dodged FTX and their collapse, but I couldn't avoid Silvergate, nor SVB and USDC. Asked a few crypto veterans, losses amount to right around $1 billion. A little is that more? A little less than $1 billion in stocks and deposits, myself included. I'm very upset, and it's time to cut down on my budget. Well, this is the good part right here. If you read here, the same day, blockchain personality and Tron founder Justin Sun reportedly withdrew $82 million in $82 million USDC from the decentralized finance DeFi protocol Aave version 2 over a series of transactions and swapped from DAI. At the time of publication, 82 million USDC is worth 75 million. So he lost about $7 million in value, which is not too bad. If you look up at the USDC, it's actually at 99 cents still, the same as DAI right now. And it's up 1.43%. So it's not doing too bad right now. But this is going to be the part where you're going to see why it's not that bad. Speaking of DAI, MakerDAO, the stablecoins issuer, filed an emergency protocol on March 11th. Among many items, called for restrictions on minting DAI using USDC to prevent panic selling. MakerDAO is one of the largest holders of the stablecoin, with over 3.1 billion USDC in reserves, collateralizing DAI, which also depegged as a result. Subsequently, crypto projects incorporating DAI in their tokenomics also suffered losses due to a chain reaction. Well, I can't find it, but I was reading earlier, and this is what I was trying to find right now. It says that, let's go talk for a second. I can't find the exact wording, but it says that Circle only had about, I think it was like 3% of their entire holdings in Silvergate Bank, which is like, I don't know if it's 3%, but it's around $3.1 billion. It might be close to like 9% of their total value in Silvergate. So that's only 9%. That's why it didn't actually go to zero, and why these stable coins are actually smart compared to like UST, which had all of its value pegged to the Terra Luna coin. Well, if you look at USDC, Circle, they have value in different places and USDT has cash equivalent value in different places in different stocks and bonds all over the place. So if one goes down, the whole ecosystem doesn't just collapse. But with that being said, people are still going to be looking for places to store their value. And that's why we have this massive Bitcoin pump all the way up, because people are like, well, all the money that they put into stable coins, a lot of that was waiting to go back into Bitcoin or altcoins when the market starts to recover. That's how the market works. When you have a bunch of people leaving the market, they're going into stable coins because they still want exposure to the market. They just don't want to take big risks in the bear market of their crypto falling. But when those stable coins depeg and that starts losing value, their safe haven asset is no longer a safe haven asset. So what they do is they start moving it into the most secure alternatives, which is Bitcoin. You're seeing your ICP go up. You're seeing your Ethereum go up. Now, ICP isn't traditionally a store of value, but when it comes to a USDC coin depegging, it is a better option than holding it in the USDC and watching that lose over $7 million out of 82 million in just a couple of days. That's a lot of money. Like, it takes a long time to earn $7 million, like staking your DAI, right? So if you had like 80 million, you just made like $2 million from staking. Well, you just lost all that plus 5 million. So what they're going to do is they're going to start looking for other assets to keep their money safe. And it's not going to go into the dollar right now because of the banks collapsing. So this is perfect. It's like a perfect storm for Bitcoin layer ones and all of us as a crypto community. Now, this is going to lead us into the next section of our video. We need these centralized authorities to go away, or at least stop being so centralized. Every centralized authority, I think, needs to know what decentralization is and incorporate it. At least don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you had all your eggs in Three Arrows Capital, you would have lost everything. If you had all your eggs in Voyager, you would have lost everything, right? So what we can learn from this is don't just pick one. If you put all of your eggs, all of your money in one basket and it goes, you're toast. But if you put it in Bitcoin, you put it in a bank, I'm not saying throw all your money in crypto, but have a strategy. Have some of your money in the bank. Have some of your money in Bitcoin. Have some of your money in altcoins. Have some of your money in a stable coin. Have some of your money in NFTs. That way, if one of these markets goes down, you still have 6 other hidden treasures, that you are not going to lose everything that you have. We need to be smart, guys. The smart people are the ones that diversify their portfolio, that know bear markets and bull markets, and understand the technology, because the technology saves us from what is going on right now. This is the whole reason Bitcoin was made. We are now seeing play out why Bitcoin was made 14 years ago. Satoshi Nakamoto saw this coming. He saw, well, there's a housing crash. There is a recession going on in the biggest superpower country. We are the biggest superpower country in the world to lose a lot of its monetary value when it comes to the dollar. So let's get into these comments now. Sorry, I kind of wanted to just explain all of that and how all of this has to do with the overall picture, and not just, okay, well, another bank is collapsing. Oh, who cares? No, this is bigger than that now, because we're starting to move into somewhat of a recession. And if we move into a recession, we're going to see Bitcoin start its bull market again. That's the worst case scenario, is a lot of money like banks starting to get insolvent. The housing market goes down. We're going to see a lot of big money start moving into stable coins. And then if the stable coins are crashing, we're going to see it move into Bitcoin. It's like kind of a trickle down effect. You go to your first safe haven, stable coins, because they're supposed to stay at $1. If those don't work, you go to Bitcoin, because every 4 years, if you hold Bitcoin, you can't lose money. And then your layer one cryptos, your DeFi, and then it trickles down to the bottom, NFTs, your tokens, and stuff like that. So you really got to pay attention to those things. All right. So USDC will refill its peg to the dollar on Monday as investors expect. That's true. I don't think this is going to last, like I said, because they have a bunch of different, equivalents in different places. But we never want to see, a bank that has that much USDC collapse. And it makes me think that the government is part of this. They absolutely hate stablecoins, guys. The government has the power to absolutely wreck a bank and then be like, oh, we're here to help you, when they're actually the ones that ruined it. I can't say that that's what happened, but I wouldn't put it past the U.S. government, because we are making a lot of passive income when it comes to stable coins. And the U.S. government, they want to tax us. They don't want to see us have big staking rewards. Look at Kraken, if you don't believe me, right? So, and exactly, that's 24/7 money. When you look at, always being able to stake your crypto. Now, governance. This is going to lead us into our next section too, when we talk about open chat and why we need decentralization over centralized authorities having all of our stuff in one place, and we get completely wrecked. So Bitcoin cannot be shut off like HBAR or Solana. That's true, but we need all of these cryptos. We need them all. It is an ecosystem. Okay, I got asked a question on my grant proposal the other day. What makes me better than all of the other people, or stand out more than them? And I said a few reasons, but what I was really thinking is, I don't want to be better than the people in my space. I don't see myself as a competitor to other people in my space. I see a collaboration opportunity. What I see is myself being able to work with somebody else that is doing the thing that I want to do, or something similar to me, and be able to work with them. That's the same thing as crypto. If we could get crypto to come together, and it would be basically like the decentralized crypto versus the centralized authorities. And that's the only way that we can compete and actually, get laws in our favor, get, bills passed in our favor that help the retail investor, and not just the big, conglomerates, and not especially the government, right? And they're just going to want to tax us more and do that. So that is a very good point. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Neither is ICP. That is probably why a lot of people are putting their money in from a stablecoin to ICP right now, because it can never be shut off. It is a almost fully decentralized crypto that has many fully decentralized applications. So these are going to be massive reasons why people are going to just flood their money into it, especially if the United States goes into a full recession. And then from there, we could go into a depression, which I don't think we will with having Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. That might be our saving grace from going into a full-out depression like back in the 30s, right? That absolutely wrecked people. They lost their life savings. They lost everything that they, worked their whole lives for. That's why I'm saying, never put all of your eggs in one basket. Not the crypto basket, not the bank basket, not the NFT basket. Have multiple baskets with about an even amount in each of them. So if one of them goes down, you are always safe for the other one. And that's why we need multiple cryptos too. Like, I know a lot of people like to take shots at other cryptos because we do it better. Well, how about we fix something you miss, and you fix something we miss, and we come together as one community fighting against bank collapses, against faulty exchanges, and all of this can be achieved in a decentralized way. When's the last time you heard Uniswap, misappropriating customer funds, or SushiSwap losing everybody's money? It doesn't happen because they're decentralized. There's not a person in there that makes bad decisions. It's a code that everybody has to agree on beforehand, so it's all out in the open. You can't do something behind closed doors, lie about it, get away with it because nobody knows you're doing it. That's why decentralization is the key. Now, we need to start with a centralized authority and move it closer and closer to decentralization, just because that's the way our world works. So Mel Monspeet, that's a cool name. I read they just announced they will save Silvergate Bank. Can someone confirm? They are. Actually, they are trying to save this right now, but how are they going to save it though? Are they going to save it by giving the people the money? Because that's all I've heard so far, is that they're going to give the customers money. But are they actually going to save the bank where it can? I don't think they are. I think this bank is done for. I think they are going to try to get the customers money. Now, if they save the bank, that's better for the whole industry at large, because then we don't, Silicon Valley banks, man, Silicon Valley's the past anyway. So I don't know why Circle would put a lot of their money into something like that. But they might not be able to recover from this. We'll see after they give customers funds, then what happens after this. I did my research on this one before I did my video today. So I just want to give you guys the best news possible, but not lie about it, just give you good news for good news sake. No, I'm not going to do that. So bank mostly go to bankruptcy due to its fractional loans. And well, that's what Dominic Williams was talking about, is the way that these banks do business is they are giving out these loans for super low interest rates, which doesn't give them enough money to keep them afloat, right? Then they go insolvent, and all those people who took the loans, end up getting called on to pay it back, even before it's due, and it just causes like a chain reaction. And then, USDC going down, it causes more fear, more uncertainty, and it just kind of does a lot of bad things in the space. So, in this system, we got $1 deposit from people. They give $10 loan to people, which is fractional because banks run. Yeah. And that's exactly what's wrong with it. I don't know the whole inner workings of that. It's above my pay grade, but I know whatever they're doing, it is making it to where things are collapsing. And we're, with the high interest rates in the world, like I just ordered some food that I used to be able to get for half the price. I went into Safeway the other day, and if you remember those small cups of Chips Ahoy and Oreos, like the snack size, they were $1 last in 2022. $1. Now they're $2. I was like, dude, they doubled the price on a little snack thing. So we're starting to see inflation really take effect, not only in gas, food, the market. So this is why we really need our government to get on board with not just fining. What is fining people done? What has fining Kraken done to help the United States? Nothing. Why don't they think of a way to implement blockchain, implement good regulation for everything, that it will benefit the United States, where they can make money staking? Why would the United States government want to stake crypto and gain, like, if they put in $6 billion in staking, they could gain a freaking $100 million a day or something. They have crazy amounts of money, and in crypto, it takes money to make money. Why wouldn't the U.S. government do that? I don't understand it. It would benefit not only us, but it would stop the inflation, it would stop the interest rates, and it would stop them from taxing us so much. Come on, get it together, government, man. For real. So, hey, what up, NV Ford, my guy? After that, ICP shoots up like wildfire, but it's still early. Still need to build that merge with ETH and other coins. You're right. I'm actually going to change this video. I'm not going to do TA today. I think we have a lot to talk about here, so I'm going to change that that thumbnail, and we'll do our TA on Wednesday. We'll do our weekly TA video. So this isn't going to be TA today. I was going to do that, but there's so much to unpack here. Cut Action, my guy. This is the guy that always lets me know about like open chat sales and a lot of other things going on in the space. So this is a two-way community. It isn't just me. All of you guys that have either been following me from the beginning or just started following me, you're just as valuable to the community as I am making these videos. Each one of your comments that is valuable, it brings value to our community and lets people know we're here to stay. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate you guys a lot. So Biden wants 40% on capital gains. I heard about 30% on some, 40% on others, and that's crazy though. That's greedy. Why not? Like I said, why doesn't the U.S. government stake crypto instead of trying to get our capital gains? Well, why don't you invest in crypto, U.S. government, and you can get capital gains? Leave our money alone a little bit. Jeez, we don't mind paying our capital gains, but if you raise them too high, man, people are just going to go decentralized. They're going to do it under your radar. They're going to go to decentralized exchanges. They're not going to pay as much taxes as they would. I'm not saying to do that. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying people will. That's just the way it is. People are not going to like what they're doing, so stop it. Work with us. We're willing to work with you guys when I'm talking about Congress and all of that. And even the exchanges and all of these crypto companies are willing to work with the government. None of us are saying, no, we don't want regulation. No, we don't want some kind of clarity. We want that. We need that. But look at your own government first. United States. Look at your banking procedure. Look at your banking. Come on. You just had another bank collapse. That's one out of what, 10,000 now that have collapsed? So we need a better way to store money. And Bitcoin, ICP, Ethereum, these are the ways to do it. And now I think they're trying to make stablecoins look bad. They're coming after stablecoins hard, guys. And that's because they give us our big yearly, our big APYs. APY is something the government wants to control. But why not be part of it? That's my thing. I'm not into Ethereum killers. I'm not into our government trying to kill crypto. Be a part of it. You can benefit more from being a part of it than trying to beat your hammer down and control everything. We're people. We're not freaking God, right? So we can't control everything. Come on now. Sorry, I'm on one today because it makes me mad that they don't see the opportunity. We see it. How come they can't see it, right? So I'm 100% sure the market will be like never before. The government wants theirs, and I'm in New York with city and state taxes. Oh yeah, that sucks. Washington has some pretty awful taxes too. 57% capital gains tax. That's crazy, bro. And you're not lying either. New York, that's actually they made somebody who was that? I just saw the other day that they were suing somebody because KuCoin. It was KuCoin. They are getting mad at KuCoin because they said, well, some of our people were able to buy and sell on your exchange, and we live in New York, blah, blah, blah. And so they're trying to mess with KuCoin now because they want that 57% capital gains tax. They're greedy. Instead of making their own money, they want to come after ours. Like I said, we don't mind paying our taxes. Just learn how to make your own money. You know, government, why come after ours only where you can make your own? Okay, I'm moving on from that because I could get really pissed off about that. You know, like we need to vote some new people into office that understand that. The old way is done. The new way is here for sure. Yeah, the bank is done. That goes into right what I was saying. The bank is done for FDIC insurance is basically unlimited now instead of 250K. And that's because they can endlessly print money. When they started printing money like it was going out of style, I knew Bitcoin was the way to go. I knew, like, this is what people don't understand. With the way that our economy is going, with the way of the world nowadays, we even pulled out of Iraq, which means we're not even really that big into oil anymore, for real, because they understand that crypto is a bigger industry than the oil industry. Yeah, I said it. It's even bigger than the gold industry. If you guys imagine in 10 years when Bitcoin is at $1 million a piece, what is 1 million times 21 million, the total supply? That is how much your market cap of Bitcoin could be at $1 million. That means that Bitcoin could be worth more money than all of the governments combined. Okay, that could help get rid of our $30 trillion debt. If the US government would be smart about it, invest at Bitcoin when it's at $20,000 and then hold it and make value for our country. Why don't they do that? If I can make double my money, why can't the US government do it? If I can 100x my money, why can't the US government do it? They rather tax us. They're lazy? I don't know. What do you guys think? Why do you think that the United States government rather tax us than make their own money in the space? They could freaking give high yields instead of destroying Kraken. Why not go throw a couple of your stable coins in there and make money? You could have made almost as much money as you charge Kraken by staking your own crypto. So that to me is pretty funny. Remember to smash that like button, guys. Keep this, content going and help get it to people who really need to figure out, well, what do I do with my money now? What am I supposed to do? And like I said, diversify, guys. Because if you have everything in one place, Voyager, Celsius, FTX, imagine if you only had it in one of those, but then you had it in Coinbase and 4 non-custodial wallets. Then you have your stock money and your bank money that's not in SVB. Then you'd still be okay right now. You might have lost one of those things, but in the scheme of things, that's only a tenth of your entire portfolio. Wouldn't it be better to lose a tenth of your portfolio than 100% of it? So it's pretty easy to understand, but a lot of us get comfortable in one place. Like I'm comfortable on Coinbase, but I don't keep my money on there because I understand the risks that entails. So 37% right now of capital gains tax. If he raises it to 40, it'll be 57%. in New York, he's saying, not everywhere. It depends on where you live. The capital gains taxes are different because some places they charge taxes for food. Actually, in Seattle, they do a beverage tax. This is why I'm saying the government's getting kind of greedy with the taxes. They do a beverage tax here, which means any beverage with sugar in it, even if it doesn't have caffeine, is taxed. So if normally I would pay like $1.99 for this, it goes for about $4 because I have to pay almost double the money in sugar tax. And it isn't even caffeine. I could see a caffeine tax, but a sugar tax. But I'm just saying the government's getting greedy. Instead of earning their own money, they're coming after ours. And we need to vote. The only way to change that is to vote for different people in office. That's it. And to keep supporting your crypto, liking this, commenting, sharing it to people, and then they get the idea of what's going to happen. So I think it would be better to say, oh, you made 50 mil, you can afford a higher tax. Yeah, so if they're taxing richer people, you know, even if I become rich, I won't mind being taxed a little bit more. But when they come after the poor people and they're living off the backs of the poor people because 99% of us aren't rich, then that becomes a problem because then you have the poor get poorer, which means that poverty line, it goes up, but the people making money goes down. So that poverty line gets even harder for us to reach while the inflation goes up and our paychecks don't go up. So it doesn't match, right? And we fall underwater that way. And I know, trust me, because my mom used to be an RN and we used to live in a three-story big old house. And then she got hurt at work. And then we ended up living in like a 3-bedroom trailer after that. So I've lived the good life and I've lived the hard life. But each way I lived it, you know, the government always had their hands in my mom's pocket, no matter if she made a lot of money or a little money. And when she made a little money, it made it harder for her to survive. So if it makes it harder for our poorest people to survive, then why are we doing it? That's like my goal, not only to start this business, but I want to start a nonprofit. I want to start something that helps people maybe with their finances or help them understand crypto, or a donation place where people can come and, you know, spend their day learning about crypto for free. I don't know. I just want to do something that gives value and lets people understand how to not lose everything in one fell swoop. That's where my mind's at. That's where I'm at. So salute. Some people think because I wear a hat, I don't have hair, but I do. It's actually receding a little bit, and my beard is gray, but my hair is black. Anyway, 21 trillion. That's a lot of money. So Bitcoin's been to $1 trillion, right? So if we end up at $21 trillion, that's more than double the market cap of gold. So this could really get us out of some kind of a debt, right? So Bitcoin goes to 10 million, that's 210 trillion. That would get us out of debt 7 times over. So this is where we need to think when it comes to the government. I wish I could freaking send this video to the White House for real. Does that beverage tax affect like Mountain Dew Zero? Yeah, every I don't think it does. Now that you mention that, because I saw Coke Zero the other day and I was wondering, dude, you make a point, because I was wondering the Coke Zero is like $4.99 for a 6-pack, and the it was 6-pack of these bottles. And the regular Coke was like $12 for a 6-pack. And I was like, why is that? It makes sense because there's no sugar in it. Yeah, it is cheaper. Wow, that's messed up. I wish I drank Coke Zero now. All right, guys, I think that's it for this video. Actually, let's go into open chat. I want to talk about decentralization a little bit more before we go, because this is why we need decentralization. We can't trust centralized authorities not to lose our money. Shout out to Matt Grogan here. Oh, and over here, I didn't give this person credit real quick. Hold on. Yeah, Zion's son. Oh, and we didn't go to that one. Okay. Anyway, so Matt Grogan, shout out to this guy for this. But open chat, a truly decentralized alternative to WhatsApp. Now, we all need communication devices, but what I'm really speaking about on this, let's make sure I got you guys over here. Okay. What I'm really speaking about this is the decentralized part of it. Because earlier this year, WhatsApp announced an updated privacy policy that requires users to accept that their account details, phone numbers, metadata, financial transactions, log reports, location, device identifiers, and IP addresses will be shared with Facebook. And this is something that happened before where Facebook stole all of our info and profited off of it. This is why we need things like OpenChat, which is a decentralized messaging service that functions much like existing messaging apps such as WhatsApp and Signal, with a key difference being that OpenChat runs end-to-end on a blockchain, the internet computer. Well, what I want to talk about is they raised more than $5.5 million in less than 4 hours via community-driven decentralized fundraise. And shout out to Cindy Tan for this article. But what I want to talk about is that 2,375 people, they all totaled over $1 million in ICP that is going to help move OpenChat into a fully functional, decentralized, autonomous organization, DAO, led by its community of shareholders. Now, that's all I wanted to talk about on that, and then let's have a discussion. So basically what they are doing is they're taking all of that money that they made from the decentralized sale, and they are going to put it into the hands of the community. This is why I love governance projects, right? Because now we have control, say, how to spend that $5.5 million that they just fundraise. Do we want it to go to making it more marketing? Do we want to go into hiring more people to more developers? Do we want a developer fund? Do we want whatever direction we can see OpenChat going? What other cryptos could we bring into OpenChat for messaging? When is the Ethereum integration going to come in? And are we going to be a part of that? These things are going to signify the future of OpenChat, the future of ICP, and the future of decentralization in our hands. Because can we trust the government? Obviously not. Can we trust the banks? Obviously not. Can we trust stablecoins that have big entities behind them? Obviously not. And it just gets to this point where it's like, well, who can we trust? We know who we can't trust. We can trust the smart contract. We can trust something that cannot be changed without everybody voting on it and everybody knowing about it. And what's the biggest fear of people? The unknown. So when we get rid of the manipulation, we get rid of the fear, which is getting rid of the unknown, we're going to be set. And you know, with Bitcoin going up the way it is right now because of it, it's going to bring more interest into ICP, more interest into OpenChat and the chat token that they have. That's what was bought for $5.5 million, if I missed that. It's something called the chat token. You can get it on ICP Swap and possibly other places, and you can interact with it on the internet's DAO and the service nervous system, right? So this is going to be great stuff, guys. Wait, is there a question up here that I missed? Oh, there we go. He says, how much ICP should I own? And this is the perfect answer to that, as much as you want. No, actually, this is an even better answer. To say as much as you can afford in your situation. Like I said, never put all your eggs in one basket. I'm telling you, it's not smart to do. Most of my eggs are in ICP, but I have things in other places, right? And I'm building a brand, and I'm trying to work with different cryptos so I can get a big moon bag of those, because my job is making content for cryptos and then getting those companies to want to work with me, not just once. I want to work with every company at least twice. That way I know when I did it the first time, it wasn't just a fluke. They believe in what I'm doing, and then we part ways in a good term. Maybe I can come back work for them in the future. But I want ICP. I want the graph. I want Bitcoin. I want Ethereum. I want a stock. I want a bond. Like, these are the things, as I get older, I'm going to want all of these things. But the first thing that I really want is Bitcoin because of its store of value. In the next 20 years, I want my money to be safe. And in the next 10 years, I want to make a lot of money with internet computer. And so this is the way, guys. So what up, Edwin Colon? Pretty good day, huh? What's good in the hood? So crypto is needed. So I don't want to see a recession, just like I don't like to see the stuff that's happening on the other side of the world that's been going on for over a year. You know what I'm talking about. But these things happen in the world that we live in, right? So we have to be prepared. We have to be smart about what we're doing, and we have to stick together. This is where your ideas, might only be 10 people on here live, right? But hundreds of people see my videos. And if you're on multiple videos, then thousands. So what you have to say matters. And other people will be looking what you're saying in my comments, what you say on my chat, and you have a voice that needs to be heard, especially right now. We want to know, what do you think about the USDC collapse? What do you think about the banks collapsing? What can be done to change it? If we throw these ideas out here, then maybe something will be done. Go vote. Go do whatever you can to change the situation. Let's not just bitch and moan about it, all right? All right, guys. That being said, goodbye and good portfolio. Bang!